Yeah, no, it is interesting, right? In the traditional world, right, network and security still treated somewhat separately, right, as a separate because you had different devices that you would actually deploy on the network depending on your need. The also in the traditional world, your boundaries were fixed. Your perimeter was fixed. In the new world, now it's borderless services that you're deploying, right? So it becomes all the more relevant for security to become an integral part of the network itself, because ultimately the customer is expecting that every transaction is secure. Till now we were managing millions of transactions, right? Going forward with IoT and digitization, we're talking about billions of transactions. So I think this attack that we saw it's really an eye opener that, you know, the level of impact it can have is astounding, and so it's become all the more relevant and necessary that there is a much bigger focus around network and security consolidation to happen. What we're seeing right now is a shift in the application space, which is driven by digitization in the market and the advent of cloud services, mobility. And from an application standpoint, more of peer-to-peer type applications, video services. Because of this market shift, there has been a pressing demand on transforming the network also that needs to be delivering these services to our customers. So that's driving a lot of the innovation and strategy for Verizon as to how do we make the network more agile, provide a more better and faster experience for our customers, enterprise customers, as part of the strategy. In the traditional world, you had simple client server type applications where the applications are in fixed data centers, users were in fixed locations. Now you have users anywhere, you have applications anywhere. So the ability to deploy services based on where the network is a sensor and it kind of recognizes what the needs of the applications are and appropriately deploys services for our customers. So the orchestration platform provides us was required to provide us the ability to deploy these software-based network services in the cloud, at the customer premise, in data centers in a more flexible and agile way. And the other driver for this also is the fact that we've seen the impact virtualization has done to data centers, and basically a software-based environment provides you that agility to deploy specific applications to our customers. Now the same thing, we extend that concept into network, where network functions are getting virtualized. So an orchestration platform really gives us that platform, the foundational platform to deploy software-based functions in a more flexible way. We live in a multi-vendor environment, multi-cloud environment, right? So the requirements with regards to what services you need to deliver to the customer needs to be relatively dynamic, right? So as a result, what the architecture we want to try and build is, we want to create a layer of abstraction where you can essentially, regardless of what the underlying vendor may be, what the underlying platform on which you want to deliver the services may be, you can expose microservices to northbound, right? So essentially now you can, for each customer based on their unique requirements and needs, you can actually service chain these microservices to provide a very unique, customized experience to the customer based on their application needs and requirements. So we launched our first software-defined enabled service back in 2015, and within the first month of our launch, we had a pretty significant opportunity that we won with a financial institution. So we definitely started seeing the initial trend in adaptation of SDN services with the financial verticals, but since then we've actually seen other verticals catch up, the retail sector, the industrial sector as well, right? Some of the big customer wins that we've had has essentially been with them, right? With financial vertical, because they're trying to drive
drive transformation at their branch offices. Where with the industrial customers, because now the advent of IoT technology, there is a complete transformation they require in the application space, and they need a network to be able to support that. So we're seeing a lot of interest there as well. What better when you have a network that is so agile that it's able to deploy the required network conditions, the network application security and performance for those applications almost in an on-demand way. It drives, and through the automation that orchestration brings to the table, it becomes a lot more faster and easier. I have a great example also I'll talk about. This is one of our customers was going through a separation activity, and the company that was getting separated required access to only very specific applications and specific locations. So with the SD-WAN technology that we deployed for that customer, what would have taken 7 to 8 months to plan out that entire divestiture activity, it took a matter of a few weekends. And we were able to get that running. In the traditional hardware world, you would have actually had to buy pieces of hardware, design around it, deploy it at these centers, separate firewalls, separate routers, and separate infrastructure. But with the software world, when you're able to deploy these services a lot more rapidly, it really significantly reduces their time to be able to achieve their goals. This specific customer was in the healthcare sector.